If I had to start a YouTube channel today, here's what I would do differently. First point is starting mindset. I would argue that you actually don't start with a niche, but instead you start with attempts. When creating a channel, it seems like such a huge task because there's a big paralysis behind what your channel is going to be about, how long your videos are, when you're posting, what type of content you're making. However, I would simplify it and simply just get 10 videos out. Not good videos, just 10 videos. Identity comes from volume, not planning. It's very easy to optimize all of your posts before you create, but at the end of the day, you're not going to figure out what you need to work on until you simply just create the video. I think pressing record, editing, and then uploading will give you way more information doing that 10 times than planning for weeks and months on end. Now, this leads me to the next point, creating your identity. You want to be a person first, and then have the topic follow that. To me, this is more of a modern way to approach YouTube. In the past, videos were focused around a topic, but now I think videos are focused around a lifestyle. If people follow you for your vibe and your thoughts, then you can post anything. So that means even if you graduate college, even if you don't talk about skincare as much, even if you slightly shift to maybe learning about languages, or maybe your new life somewhere else, people will follow you because of you. Now, it might be a little bit slower growth-wise because it's kind of hard to follow a vibe, but I think it's a much more sustainable and enjoyable approach and doesn't keep you boxed in if you ever want to change. Basically, everyone has a phone nowadays, and that is more than enough to create. This is coming from somebody who used to think of themselves as a cinematic vlogger or creator, but I learned a few things, especially after purchasing some equipment that I did not need. One being, I don't exactly enjoy doing it that much. Two, why I actually enjoy doing talking videos much more, which, again, you can create with anything. But I didn't know that because I didn't make enough videos at the time to realize that. And to follow up, because I thought gear and aesthetics mattered so much, I went really far down that rabbit hole, and I ended up spending way too much money and time on things that did not matter for enjoyment, growth, consistency, basically anything. So yeah. Plus, nowadays for me, what makes it easy is having the lightest and most convenient setup, which is my camera, a small little tripod, and a mic. Not multiple lenses, not a gimbal, not all of these different shots, but something simple. A follow-up point is that you want to be able to create for not just weeks, but months and ideally maybe years. And having something that is easier to produce over time means that you'll be able to do it longer. And longevity is typically one of the biggest factors when it comes to creating. I know it's easy to say have fun, but as somebody who has burned out from YouTube many, many times over and over, despite really loving the idea of it, I've learned that the videos that I simply just enjoy creating most, which is usually talking, usually simple, and also something that I get to connect with people on, and one that allows me to create for a long time, is basically about as good of a combo as you can get. So for all of these years before, the 100 plus videos I've made before, cinematic, elegant videos that looked good and also felt good to show, didn't feel good for me to create. I think it was my ego / also some sort of maybe videographer validation seeking thing that made things really difficult. So yeah. So to wrap it up, if I were to start again, I would start messy and let the identity form along the way. Okay, thank you so much and have a good day. Bye bye.